Debian 13 Trixie stands as the culmination of over 2 years of patient, deliberate work by the Debian team, continuing a tradition that stretches back decades and forms the bedrock of many celebrated Linux distributions. With Trixie, Debian cements its reputation for prioritizing reliability, security, and flexibility, while taking significant steps into the modern Linux desktop era. This new release isn't just business as usual, it's a considered evolution, bringing sharper performance, greater hardware compatibility, and powerful desktop environments, all wrapped in the familiar blanket of Debian stability. When setting up Debian 13, the process starts with downloading the stable ISO from the official site, where users can choose the polished GNOME edition or opt into other supported desktops, such as KDE Plasma 6.3 or Xfce 4.20. Installing is more beginner-friendly than ever, thanks to both graphical and command line installers that guide even new users through language, region, keyboard, network, user, and disk partitioning steps. Notably, the installer now allows seamless inclusion of non-free firmware for newer graphics and Wi-Fi, providing a smooth experience for users with modern laptops and desktops. Post-install, users find themselves on a system that's easy to update and hard to break, a trademark of Debian's legendary stability. Debian 13 ships with over 14,100 new packages, bumping the archive to nearly 70,000 packages and updating tens of thousands more. Advanced Package Tool APT 3.0 debuts, providing faster and more robust package management with new compression backends, zstad for speed, replacing XZ. Security has been hardened via AppArmor policy improvements and new container sandboxing features. Developers will find updated toolchains such as GCC 14.2, Rust 1.85, Python 3.3, and LLVM/Clang 19, and desktop enthusiasts will enjoy faster compression, smoother container integration with Podman and Buildah, and groundbreaking support for technologies like HTTP3 in curl and WebStacks. Debian 13's chief asset is uncompromising stability. Designed to run for 5 years with LTS support, it's an operating system that almost never fails, making it ideal for mission-critical workloads and desktops alike. Package selection is immense, covering virtually every need while maintaining a high bar for reliability. Out-of-the-box hardware compatibility is markedly better thanks to the latest kernel and automatic firmware management in the installer. And the modernized GNOME makes the user experience both pretty and productive. Debian's minimal telemetry and focus on privacy, coupled with a resource-efficient approach, make it well-suited for everything from powerful workstations to modest, aging laptops. The same conservatism that powers Debian stability can also slow its embrace of the latest bleeding-edge features. While GNOME 48 and kernel 6.7 are modern, some desktop apps and libraries may trail behind arch-rivals like Arch or Fedora. Customization out of the box is sparse. Users who love heavily tweaked themes will need to set things up manually. Non-free drivers and codecs require users to opt in during installation, and those running NVIDIA graphics may encounter sporadic bugs or limited multi-monitor support under Wayland. The installer still doesn't use calamares by default, which may limit user-friendliness for absolute beginners. Debian's release cadence is intentionally slow and steady, prioritizing bug fixes, security patches, and system reliability over aggressive feature rollouts. Trixie is set to receive long-term support for at least 5 years, making it a prime choice for servers or users who want to set and forget their operating system. Security updates are prompt and comprehensive, with AppArmor and SE Linux policies continually tuned to block exploits. System components, such as System D, have been updated for better sandboxing, service isolation, and resiliency.
On modern hardware, Debian 13 feels lively. GNOME 48 cold boots clock in at about 19 seconds, compared to 22 seconds for Debian 12. Idle RAM usage drops to around 740 megabytes, with noticeably faster app launches. Firefox now pops up in under 2.5 seconds, versus over 3 seconds previously. Overall UI smoothness and workspace transitions are improved, with Wayland now the default session for GNOME, bringing graphics acceleration and superior input handling. Pipewire provides glitch-free audio and solid performance for screencasts and conferencing tools. Application launches, multitasking, and window management are all faster and more fluid than before, and basic resource usage is even lower thanks to greater efficiency in the underlying processes. The heartbeat of Debian 13 is its new default desktop, GNOME 48, which replaces the older GNOME 43 from Bookworm. This update is not a mere facelift. It brings smoother animations, an overhauled activities panel, new quick settings, and better touch support. Backing this up is Linux kernel 6.7 and above, which delivers expanded support for the latest CPUs, GPUs, Wi-Fi chips, and NVMe storage, making Trixie much friendlier to new hardware straight out of the box. Enhanced installer usability, easier firmware handling for non-free drivers, a modernized package manager, APT 3.0, and official support for the RISC-V 64-bit architecture all contribute to making Debian 13 feel both comfortable and cutting-edge. Booting into Debian 13 with GNOME 48 reveals a desktop that's cleaner, faster, and more intuitive than ever before. The Activities overview is even more responsive, system notifications are tightly integrated, and multitasking feels nimble. The vanilla Debian GNOME experience means minimal bloat, a consistent look, and a straightforward workflow. Pipewire is now the default audio engine, promising improved audio routing and modern screen sharing support under Wayland. Those with high-resolution displays will appreciate better high DPI handling, and users popping open the app grid see recent versions of Firefox ESR, LibreOffice, GIMP, and the GNOME Files and Terminal apps, all primed for productivity or tinkering. Debian 13 does not reinvent what users love, it refines almost everything. The jump from GNOME 43 to GNOME 48, the kernel leap from 6.1 to 6.7+, and the update to KDE Plasma 6.3 means sharper graphics, broader hardware support, and more modern infrastructure. The installer has seen usability and firmware management improvements, and the default compression for packages has switched to ZSTAD for faster upgrades. Security policies are more advanced, container and sandbox technologies are more robust, and the overall user experience is smoother and more visually refined. Package versions across key software, LibreOffice, GIMP, Emacs, and developer stacks are now closer to upstream, and compatibility is much better for 2024 and 2025 hardware. Whether using the latest AMD, Intel, or even RISC-V 64-bit chips, Debian 13 offers outstanding hardware compatibility. The installer allows users to integrate non-free firmware and drivers at install time, finally simplifying the ordeal that many users faced with wireless and graphics chips in previous releases. Users can easily enable the Contrib non-free repositories for proprietary codecs and additional device firmware, making Debian 13 the most user-friendly release yet for those running cutting-edge or niche hardware. Beyond GNOME 48, Debian 13 rolls out updated flavors of KDE Plasma, LXDE, LXQt, and Xfce, each shipping with improved user experiences, better performance, and modern looks.
KDE Plasma 6.3 adds tile-based window management and touch gestures. Xfce 4.20 improves HDPI support and resource usage. LXQt and LXDE are lighter and even more customizable. This variety ensures users find the desktop that matches their workflow and hardware needs.
Early testers report that Debian 13 feels powerful and reliable, even when installed on aging hardware, with some minor caveats. Wayland screen sharing can be buggy with proprietary apps, and NVIDIA users may still find multi-monitor configurations under Wayland challenging. TMPFS is enabled by default for /TMP, improving performance for most apps, but potentially requiring tweaks for large-scale temporary files. These are rare snags in an otherwise seamless update.
With Debian 13 Trixie, the Debian project delivers a distribution that honors the past and feels contemporary. For desktop and server users who value unwavering stability, easy hardware compatibility, a massive package archive, and minimal interference, Trixie is the definitive choice. The powerful, polished GNOME 48 experience, rapid updates, and flexible firmware handling make it friendly for newcomers and experts alike. It may fall short in raw cutting-edge speed or theming, but its unique blend of reliability, transparency, and community support sets it apart. Debian 13 is perfect for those who want their systems to just work, from production servers to everyday laptops and desktops. If stability is your gold standard and privacy matters, this release is likely your next step. For the distro hoppers and bleeding edge fans, Debian still offers access to testing and unstable branches, but Trixie itself strikes a brilliant balance between modernity and dependability.
Is Debian 13 the ultimate stable Linux system in your view, or do you crave the faster pace of innovation? Drop your thoughts in the comments, share your own experiences, and join the conversation. Thanks for tuning in to this full exploration. Be sure to subscribe, hit like, and stay notified for more Linux deep dives and reviews. Debian 13 Trixie is here, and it might just be the new standard in stability.